Hey there. I am so excited to be on and visit with you guys. I'm going to give a little bit of a chance for people to hop on. If you wanted to say something when you're on, then I can know that you're watching. And I have some exciting stuff to share with you guys tonight because it is something that I have been studying a lot about, learning a lot about, and just, yeah, it's been a personal experience for me to learn a lot about a topic that I believe so many of us struggle with, and that is weight loss. And so let's give it a couple seconds, and then I will start sharing with you some of the tips I learned, and then also what Plexus has released, and we're going to do a free giveaway tonight as well. So it's very exciting. So I think I'm going to get started. Alrighty. A lot of us, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, have struggled with weight loss or weight issues. Those of you that know me know this is something that, I don't know, probably about 12 or 15 years that I've struggled with, but more so, I think, after we went through what we did with our kids. Weight loss wasn't something that I struggled with a lot until we went through a chronic period of stress. So what I want to share with you guys tonight is some of the factors about why we find it so hard sometimes to lose weight, because there's underlying issues. I have said this so often myself, and I know a lot of you guys have said this. It doesn't matter how much I eat or don't eat, how much I work out. It doesn't matter. I can look at a piece of bread and I gain weight. Have you ever felt that way? And so that is so often how I felt. I remember one time we were living in Kentucky at the time, and we ate perfect. We raised all our own meat. We raised all our own vegetables. We ate completely clean. We never ate junk food. I don't think my kids have ever had a pop. I know they've tasted it here and there, but that's never been something. So I remember saying, I can't even cut out anything more. And so I really started looking into factors, and there are some factors that we're going to cover, and I'm not going to get in depth tonight. This is more of a fun giveaway video, but there are some factors that make it almost impossible for us to lose weight unless you heal. So when I was looking at Plexus, honest, when I saw Slim before I ever looked into it, I was like, okay, I was desperate. And I can understand so much the desperation that some of us feel when we want to lose weight and we just can't lose weight. So I started looking into it just for that reason alone. But then when I started researching, you guys know that whole story of how incredible effect it had on Tori's health. And then I started realizing it was a root cause addresser. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but when you want to lose weight, if you want to lose weight where it doesn't come back on, let's say that, have you ever done a diet where you've been dieting and you lose like maybe 10 or 15 pounds, but like within a short amount of time, that 10 or 15 pounds comes back on? Why? Because you never fixed why your body was hanging on to those 10 or 15 pounds. You literally forced it off, probably half starved to death, were an absolute while you were doing it because you were starving your brain often of fats, and the weight just came back on. One of the big factors of the weight coming back on is candida, but also is because what you did to get it off was not long-term sustainable. So what are some of the factors of why our body hangs on to weight? Number one of the big factors is hormone imbalance caused by insulin resistance. And they're saying that they're finding this is happening more and more in teenagers where they have insulin resistance. You can see that often when you'll have skinny teenagers, but they have hips, you know, like those love handles on the side, skinny people. Another sign can be moods and imbalances and PMS issues and hormone issues or grouchiness and terrible acne. And there's a lot of different signs of that. Sleepiness in the afternoon. But one of the big factors is hormone imbalance and insulin resistance. And then you get to where you have thyroid and adrenal issues. Because when you're long-term insulin resistant, it affects adrenals. Then let's go into stress. Who doesn't have stress? Our bodies were designed to have the fight and flight. Basically, if a tribe that was coming to attack our tribe and we had the adrenaline and the stress that we could get away fast, and our body gave it all its resources and we got away, or we were chased by a bear, or it was like for short-term amount of stress. Now we are literally bombarded all the time with stress. We have dings on our cell phone, notification, we're getting texted, we're getting emailed, we're getting called. We're running our children here, we're running our children there. And I was thinking the other day, I told Dad, I would like to live like they did in Mary and Laura's time. We only went where our horse went. I want to only do that half the time. But having said that, we're running all the time. So our body is under stress from go, 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 go. Do you realize your body does not tell the difference between mental stress? So you could just be literally relaxed or sitting in your house, stressing out where you're affecting your adrenals and your brain. Or physical stress, maybe where our body is fighting something off and we have a sickness. Or it can be mental stress, it can be emotional stress. Whenever we are under stress, and you compound that with constant notifications and phones, etc., our body starts to be affected, and one of the factors is our body starts to make weight. Stress weight, hormone imbalance weight, they go hand in hand, and where that weight settles is often on the hips, love handles, and on the lower stomach. That is one of the signs of adrenals and cortisol stress-related insulin resistance. It's basically all one thing in a large sense, not totally, but that settles, the weight settles there. Then what happens over time, we start to become more and more toxic as our gut is affected, because stress burns off the gut bacteria. We become more toxic and we start to have inflammation. You'll start looking at people, you'll notice it. They kind of have a little bit of fluffiness. They're kind of like squishy people, and they have inflammation, the body's hanging on to weight. So there's many factors. So what happens is that people out of desperation start reaching for weight loss products, and they don't work. And I want to give you guys a scenario. I want you to picture a mom. She's standing in a room in a kitchen, and I saw a painting one time, and it struck a chord in me because I could so relate at the time. There was a mom. She's standing in a kitchen. There's dishes all over her sink. There's dishes on the island. There's pans piled on the stove. Crawling at her feet is a baby that just has a diaper on. She hasn't had a chance to even get the baby dressed, and it's crawling on a floor that has a, you know, who knows what all on it. And there's a 2-year-old sitting on the table stirring and eating his cereal. You can see the milk is on the table and the cereal box is tipped over. And then there's children that are playing in the living room with a bunch of toys out, and in the corner you can see piles of laundry. And she has her hands like this. She's just so overwhelmed and exhausted. And that is where so many of our bodies are internally. We are overwhelmed and exhausted. And I used to say, if there's one more thing, what is happening internally, just from a weight loss perspective, is our body is saying stress, 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 stress. And so our body is basically making fat settling on our hips and on our lower stomach because of the stress, without getting into all the details. That is a big factor. So, or you may have a mom who the alarm goes off at 5:30, she hits the snooze button, not the snooze button, she hits the off button, jumps up and stumbles to the shower, goes and gets her children up, gets them for breakfast, out the door to school. She's working all day long in a high stress environment. The day is over, she picks up her kids, takes one to a baseball game, gets home around 7 o'clock. If she's had time, she has a crock pot meal. If not, they're putting something in they're grabbing something to eat, puts a laundry load in, drops into bed exhausted. Day after day after day. The body does not differentiate, even if she loves her job, between stress. Over time, her and her husband both notice this extra weight coming on. So, do you think that a weight loss pill, what most weight loss pills are made up of, are stimulants to stimulate the metabolism to burn fat? That is literally like saying you walk into that kitchen where that mom is, and she is overwhelmed, she has so much to do, and you say, I want you to drop down and give me some burpees. I want you to give me some crunches. When you're done that, I want you to run on the spot as fast as you can for 10 minutes. That mom is probably going to want to deck her. Do you think that mom has it in her to drop down and do burpees? Do you think that mom has the internal energy to go and run on the spot for 10 minutes? No, but if that mom had rest, if that mom was supported, if someone did her work, then she could. So, this is where I'm going to lead into. Last night, Plexus released a product called Metaburn, and it was a weight loss support system. So, what makes it different, and why would something like this protocol work when other things didn't? So, I want to tell you a little bit about something called adaptogens. Adaptogens are like maids. So, picture this. The mom is standing in the kitchen. She's overwhelmed. She's about in tears. She has so much work. She doesn't know how she can even get on top of it. She knows she has those extra 10 or 15 pounds, but she doesn't have the mental capacity or the physical capacity or the emotional or physical energy to do anything about it. And then she hears a knock on the door. And She opens the door thinking, what now? And there stands her friend with a mop and a bucket, and she has her 3 older girls along, and she says, I'm here to help you take care of some of your stress. My daughter Maurice is going to do all your dishes. My daughter Larissa is going to take all the children out to play. My daughter Cami is going to do the laundry, and I'm going to clean everything else up. You're going to sit on the chair with a hot cup of tea, go take a shower, whatever you want to do. I want you to go rejuvenate. We're going to take care of these stressors for you. If that mama would have all those stressors taken off of her, and she was daily given the chance to heal, so many of the things that overwhelmed her were taken off her shoulders, do you know what could happen? She could start to have energy again. She could start to have the mental alertness again. She could feel like the weight of the world was taken off her shoulders, and her body could start performing like it was meant to. Why? Because those adaptogens, those maids came in and took over the reason that was wearing her body down. The dishes were done, the laundry was done. One maid took care of the children, one maid took care of the laundry, one maid took care of the dishes, one maid cleaned up the kitchen, and she was able to recuperate and heal. What is in Metaburn that makes it different is it has 5 different adaptogens. Adaptogens go into the body, and wherever it most needs support from stress, it takes over and supports that area of the body. It gives the body the tools that it needs to deal with the stress. So what happens is the body starts to heal from many of the reasons that it was holding on to stress in the first place. When the body can heal what was causing it to hold on and to create fat, then the weight can come off because you're healing why, and it's not going to come back on. So I'm not going to get nerdy here tonight as much as I love that, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what is in this and how it can work for you, because it is different, I promise you, than any other weight loss supplement you had, because Plexus' goal is not just to have another supplement, but to help the body heal. So when I was looking over this, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy awesome. It had an ingredient I have not heard much about called grains of paradise that came out of Africa, and they have used this for centuries for digestive health. Get that? Cool, because we're always working on the gut, right? But what I found super interesting is that it enhanced the body's ability to make testosterone. Yeah. So what is that with testosterone? Stamina, strength, virility. But what was super cool was that it enhanced the body's ability to make brown fat tissue. I'm like, okay, that's really cool if you know what brown fat tissue does. Brown fat tissue takes your calories from your meal and starts to burn it for heat, starts to burn it for energy. So it enhances the body's ability to make brown fat tissue that is going to start burning up your calories, fat, and using it for energy and for heat. It's stimulating your metabolism. Like, that is crazy awesome. Then they had my tongue is going to twist. Rhodiola, sorry. I totally had a tongue slip there. And what that does, I call that the support for 21st century stress. What is 21st century stress? It's a stress that literally overwhelms. It's a dinging on your text, on your email, on your Facebook, being called, run. It's the overwhelming type of stress. And they have literally used this in other countries to help the body's ability to literally combat this mental stress and to increase our body's ability to think, to function. It's like calming and alertness. Calming and alertness. You've got this. You can do this. The maid is here for this. You don't have to worry about laundry because that maid is here for laundry. Your toy maid is here to clean up the children's toys. Your maid for your children are here. What this is doing, it's jumping us around, helping to combat the stress that normally would have affected the adrenals, helped to made the excess cortisol, which creates fat for the middle. Instead, the maid's like, oh, no, we got this. I love that. The next one was for Scully, which basically wakes up the metabolism and says, hey, I want you to burn, but don't worry, it's not going to be on your energy. I'm going to give you energy for this burning. Your metabolism is going to speed up, but it's not going to stress you out. Your metabolism can burn fat, but don't worry about it because you are going to have the energy. You're going to have the mental acuity. It helps the HPA axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals. Remember hormones, talking about one of the big factors for weight issues, hormones? This helps that. It helps the body to adapt. And so at the same time, increasing the metabolism, but not stressing us out. One of the other ones was guarana, and I really like this one because guarana, I had to chuckle. It's basically like this. Guarana tells the body, I don't want you to make fat cell production. Stop making fat cell production, but I'm going to boost the immune system. It's great for antioxidants. I'm going to help your fatigue to leave. I'm going to give you energy. I'm going to lift your mood, and I'm going to tell your cells to stop making fat cell production. I mean, how crazy awesome is that? It's increasing the metabolism by telling it not to make fat cells. That is crazy. But at the same time, it's taking away the fatigue. So many of my friends that were on this combination said, I cannot believe my mood. I feel so joyful. Like my one friend said, I help happy families because I feel so joyful. I feel energetic. I can focus. I can think. I don't feel exhausted, but I've lost an inch on my thighs. I feel so much better, but I have so much energy. My pant size is going down. And I have one more adaptogen called astragalus. And so many of us are used to this when we've heard it first. It's been used for thousands of years for an immune system, to reduce inflammation. Remember we were talking about inflammation being a cause of holding on to weight? It gives us stamina and strength and virility. Think of that tired mom. Do you think she wants focus? Do you think she wants stamina to get through the day? Do you think she wants to feel calm but have energy? Do you think she wants a brain fog to lift? Everything I talk about, those maids are doing, those adaptogens. And last but not least, one of my favorite ingredients ever, I can talk about this for ages, is the edge. Not its edge, it's in the edge. It's called L-theanine. L-theanine is your alert, calm pill. How many moms want to be alert, want to be with it, but they want to be calm? I do. And one of the things I love about L-theanine is that it helps the body to produce the neurotransmitters that it needs. One of the big ones that L-theanine is known to help produce is GABA. GABA is like, I can do this. I got it. It helps us to sleep. It helps our moods to be calm. It helps our moods to be chill, but it gives us the alertness. It comes from the green coffee bean extract, green tea, sorry. So it has naturally occurring, it works with caffeine, and the body's able to assimilate and utilize it better, but L-theanine helps to cancel out the caffeine effects. It gives jitters, and at the same time give us that alertness, that energy without the jitters. And you know what's super cool? My friends that cannot tolerate any caffeine, that cannot drink coffee or hardly have anything with caffeine in it, had no trouble with it, because it helps to cancel that part out, but yet they had the energy, they had alertness, they felt so good with it. So for me, when I look at this for weight loss, I'm like, oh my word, I will take this because I am supported. At the same time, I'm helping to heal. So for me personally, this is gonna be my combination, because my peeps that were using it, were taking it with the slim and the lean, like basically our slim, lean, and X Factor Plus. A lot of them are taking the BioCleanse and the ProBio5 to flush out toxins, but that's going to be my combination, because what we're doing is this. I forgot one other reason that the body hangs on to weight is because we may be eating, but we're not getting the nutrients. Our gut is so messed up, we're not digesting, and we're not getting the nutrients from our food. So the BioCleanse and the ProBio5 flush those toxins out. The X Factor is a fully methylated multivitamin that has a microbiome activating. It turns on the gut bacteria so we can absorb the nutrients, so the body doesn't think it's starving and wanting to eat more, because really it's not that we need to eat more, we just need to have the nutrients from our food absorbed. So when you do that, you balance your blood sugar and AKA your hormones with a slim. When you take Metaburn, it basically comes in and says, wow, I'm gonna link arms and we're gonna kick some butt here for weight loss, because we're not just forcing the body to do something, we are giving the body the tools it needs, so that as our body heals and as we fix the reasons it's holding on to weight, the weight can slowly come off. So prior to the Metaburn, I've lost with Plexus 40 pounds by healing, but it's not been overnight. It's been a 3.5-year journey of allowing my hormones to balance. They balance crazy slow. Of allowing my gut to balance, of giving my body the nutrients, of balancing my blood sugar. Now I cannot wait to add in Metaburn, because the results psychologically and mood-wise and focus-wise, and at the same time boosting my metabolism, I am so crazy excited to do this, because I know I don't do anything unless it's healing. And I know with these herbs that have been used for centuries, I'm going to be healing, but at the same time, I'm going to be boosting my metabolism, which I'm cool for. I tell you what, it's exciting. So that is a little bit of why I'm excited. And I didn't say anything till right now because I wanted to go over it and know why I love it. I trust the friends that took it and their results. They were so excited. They were about in tears. It's bubbly. And so for me, I can fully stand behind this because I have been an adaptogen lover as a master herbalist for years. And these adaptogens are some of the best combinations of giving the body, yeah, weight loss, but so much more with the immune system and the psychological and anti-inflammatory and support and increased testosterone. Who doesn't love that? So for me, it's a win-win. So I told you that I'm going to be giving away a free Metaburn to someone who's been participating and commenting. So I ordered it. It should be here in about 2 days. I'm going to read the comments, and I'm going to be sending one of you lucky guys a free bottle of Metaburn. And I look forward to hearing from you and any comments that you have on what you're excited about from what you learned tonight. So talk to you later.